GKGM, everyone. Welcome to another Union Hall cast. Today I have Joa with me from Rome Protocol. And for those who remember, Rome is one of our partners on the Solana side. And on the project side, something that's really my forte and that I find extremely interesting, which is kind of hardcore infrastructure, L2s, thinking about aggregation, security, outposts, all of kind of the really cutting edge cool stuff in crypto for visualizing like how far can we push multi-chain ecosystems. On top of that, I guess for you guys, Joe, it's been like a super interesting week as well, right? Because with Vitalik kind of taking a bit of a step back on
Oh,
L2 specific architecture. And so my first question is like, do you actually agree with him on this, or are you
the,
saying, no, he's actually wrong and Rome is right?
no, let's clarify about EVM L2s, not SVM L2s. Let's clarify that he didn't touch SVM side. He kind of talked mostly about Ethereum L2s, not upchains, not other L1s, just Ethereum related L2s. But he's right. At the same time, he's like you can. A lot of people bring the Hyperliquid as an example. Great upchain. You can call it L2. You can call it L1. They created their own L1 because they need they are making profit with transaction fees and they decided to just I think they're doing Arbitrum, right? Or this type of something. Yeah. What we are doing is the IAM ecosystem is Rom protocol. Rom is execution layer for modular blockchains. It helps developers launch fast, scalable, and customizable chains that can talk to many different blockchains using one unified tech stack. Rom is not L1 or L2, it's infrastructure the other chains are built on. What can you do with Rom is build your own chain without starting from scratch, use powerful developer tools, Rom SDK, unified liquidity, LP, unified LP, etc. If they connect other chains, EVM and SCM, Solana at this point, we'll be adding Cosmos as BNB and others later on, if there is a requirement, if there is a demand on it. And customize your VMs, EVM, Move, etc. Build your app that works across ecosystem. For example, if you have app, DeFi, gaming, RWM, Ethereum, or Solana, you want to develop your L2 at the same time take the liquidity from Solana and Ethereum community. You can use Toron stack and deploy your L2 and at the same time get transaction fees, earn revenues, and then use your own token as a gas fees. So there is no such stack yet. Initial Caldera, soon SVM are not providing such infrastructure yet.
Yeah.
Back to Ethereum, Vitalik, sorry, I just diverted from the topic. After his post, like, I think a lot of L2 coins and valuations went down to 20%. I have also a couple of L2 tokens, and maybe, but the main thing is that he was promising the scalability since 2017 when I joined this crypto space. 2017 and full time since 2018. He has been promising, oh, there will be transactions, scalability, etc. And then after that, he started supporting M2s, Starknet, that they keep coming, the Optimism, Arbitrum, etc. But now he's like diverting again, saying, oh, we need to put more energy on L1. But we have been saying that he hasn't done it, and then there is L2s, and then there is a gaming L2s, RWA L2s, and you can't just cancel all of them at this point. But I agree with him as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Most of L2s are useless. Most, not like they are not providing.
Yeah, because like one thing you immediately mentioned is with Rome Stack, right? Like the goal isn't to just create more block space on Solana. So for those listening, like Ethereum's initial idea for scaling was that L2s would be the solution to scaling. And so effectively, each L2 is almost like an Ethereum shard where you basically have the same capabilities as Ethereum, but you have like different blocks, so you can do more transaction throughput in total. I guess that has proven to not be as effective as just building a really fast blockchain, right? Just having like bigger blocks, more transactions in a single chain has better UX than one chain with 10 L2s that expose exactly the same functionality as like the original chain that they built on top. But with Rome, you guys kind of have the objective to make each L2 on top of the SVM not a clone of the SVM, right? Like it's explicitly with the goal to like allow for more experimentation, different features, different trade-offs as well. So that it's not like, oh, you can use Rome to do the same stuff you're already doing on Solana. The idea really is allow developers to build something else that you couldn't build specifically on Solana. But like, I'm very curious immediately, like what, like as a developer, I'm gonna check out the Rome GitHub, the stack itself. Like what just immediately become clear, like, oh shit, I could build this on Rome right now, what I couldn't do on the SVM itself, right? Like what's a nice differentiator for me that I have access to immediately.
You can, there will not be liquidity fragmentation. You can use Rome stack and then deploy on stack or Rome stack. At the same time, you can deploy as a L2 or you can deploy as a DApp and then use the Ethereum ecosystem as well. So we'll be storing the transaction in batches in both Ethereum and then Solana. So it will be open. You will have Ethereum community as well to utilize. And then also stay in Solana. At this point, we are offering two on Ethereum and Solana. And we'll be adding the BNB, Cosmos, and other ecosystems as well. If, for example, if you are on the other hand, if you have the RWA, you've been developing on Solana, at the same time, you want to take advantage of Ethereum. At the same time, again, create your own token and give a real utility as a being a guest token, governance, the voting, etc. And you can create your L2 as well using Rome stack. And we'll be the one taking care of infrastructure and deployments. At the same time, you can also like use the open source version, create your own L2, and then take care of transactions, add transactions, increase transaction fees, add the nodes, etc. But you can also use us as a provider, and we'll be taking care of all the infrastructure.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think we've seen like a couple of Rollup as a service providers already, right? Like Conduit and such. I always wonder with Rollup as a service providers, what's the security trade-off for me? I'm more like know a lot more about the kind of ZK methods for running a rollup, and of course, when you run a ZK rollup, you can effectively have anyone run the sequencer for you without security risk, right? How does it work in Rome when I let you guys run a sequencer for me or run my rollup stack in your infrastructure? What's kind of like the different layers of security that you guys provide to make sure that user funds remain safe, that the code I've written is the code that's being executed, etc.
We have an integrated ZK. That's why we are like partnering up with you guys to integrate Union and provide the DA and ZK and all the stack as well. But at the same time, with our current stack, we will be deploying transactions, batch of transactions on Solana and Ethereum, and it's fully decentralized. The security side passed by Halborn audit system. And yes, and then I agree with you, like adding security, the ZK rollup, or creating L2s, the people, and then letting the dev creators using such technology also like huge utility. But we haven't touched yet that part. That's why you might criticize a little bit. Like let us just roll out our first mainnet 0, and then we'll be integrating more. For example, we recently integrated another DA solution with 0G on top of Celestia. We are open to integrate more solutions like Union and other providers.
Gotcha. So at the moment, those are kind of like for a V1, and the V0 is indeed like getting a workable product with product market fit. You briefly mentioned data availability. So I assume that basically people can configure a provider themselves, or do you guys have a preferred data availability here? Do you use Solana for the DA, or what's kind of the?
We are using Solana as well. We are also offering 0G as a DA solution. And deployers or users of Rome stack can choose. It's up to them. And we are planning to add more in the future.
Nice. Are there like because you guys must have evaluated all of the DAs for building this stack, right? And I assume like you want to give your clients as much possible integrations as you can. But just to kind of ask a hard question for you, Joa, do you have like a personal favorite? Like in the integration journey, evaluating, like, are you saying, okay, of course you want to provide all of them, but deep down you think this is actually like the nicest DA to provide, or the one you had the best experience with?
The Celestia and others, like our backers, like we always favor them, and then the Zero G as well. Their developers are on board 24/7. When it comes to favoring, of course, we favor these kind of projects so that we can like ping them anytime and they get back to us, and then they're always on the call. And yeah, only like our CTO can answer more clearly to this question, but for me, at this point, I'm satisfied with current DA providers.
Gotcha.
Solution.
Yeah, I'm quite a fan of Celestia too. They have this new design, right, to scale up to like an absolutely ridiculous amount of DA potentially, right? Like, so I don't know what the number was, like a gigabyte per second or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I had a comment about that. The CTR developers consider it easy to be integrated. So for anyone. On the other hand, with Zero G, it takes a little bit more time because they are like new. They launched their mainnet, 6 months ago. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it like makes sense. It's Celestia has like the kind of best developer tools at the moment for supporting DA.
Everything is open source on chain to verify.
Yeah, but I mean Zero G is open source as well, right? It's like I think all the major DA layers are. Yeah.
Yeah. They are open source, but when it comes to other kind of stacks, they need to develop more to be integrated easily. That's what we requested, and they delivered it to 2-3 days. It's not a problem, but they are also getting better day by day. So.
Yeah. So we kind of covered like DA as part of the stack. We recently had, of course, Layer 0 announced their like Zero Chain. We have Ethereum's kind of like interoperability initiative as well to have more cohesive interop. Of course, with Union, we do a lot of interop. Union, we mainly do interop between like different ecosystems. So we have a lot of experience, like when you have like different token standards, etc. How do you go from an EVM stack to a Cosmos stack, etc. For specifically around like the Rome stack, I assume that you guys have some like native embedded interop as well, right? When I use your stack for specifically for communicating with other Rome L2s or for communicating with the SVM layer itself, so that part is seamless. I was kind of like reading the docs and I saw like some diagrams for that portion and Rome outposts and such. Could you maybe like give me a bit of a better idea, like once Rome has like 100 L2s, how does the like overarching like ecosystem look?
Yeah, from how Rome works from our stack at the currently we have a plan like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so on rollups, Cosmos, maybe BNB at the same time. But currently we have only Ethereum and Solana. What we do is like we provide scalability by both sides. At the same time, we do have settlements on L1, like interop and going to DA, and then settling on L1. On our SDK side, there's the AVS and an outpost. Like all L2s will go to atomic composability, and non-ROM L2s also will go to ROM AVS side. So as I mentioned, you can use the ROM stack to deploy that as well, not just L2. And we are also storing on the Ethereum and Solana by batches of the transactions and then as well. So.
That makes sense. And how does the model approximately work? So I assume there's like some type of relayer because that handles like doing the bridge transfers for users and all of that. Do the L2s use like an oracle in between to secure the relayer? Does the relayer have a trusted role? Is it more like Hyperlane where you have a configurable like level of security and so you can do kind of custom routes? Like what is my choice as a developer?
From my understanding, our CTO and the founder developed this tech from the scratch, but we haven't announced yet. As I mentioned, our mainnet zero is coming by the end of this month or early March. And we did develop our own solution as well. And some people call it Neon 2.0. Remember, Neon tried to do it as well. But I don't like to call it failed, but kind of failed. So we will definitely share this information prior to mainnet zero launch. At this point, there's some documentation and on testnet and main. We have testnet as well. You can check, but we have devnet as well at the same time. Have you reviewed this?
Yeah, send me a link to your devnet. I'd love to play around and see it kind of work and measure maybe some of the performance. So you guys have mainnet in about a month, you said.
Hopefully. I don't want to promise because some backers, some investors are asking us to delay a little bit because of the market. It's I think the Monad launched. What happened. Not many builders. They can build the best infrastructure, but if there are no builders and communities, it's difficult to survive. And the Mega E, I think, launched mainnet as well, but not in case soccer. They have KPIs, etc. In our case, we are not promising, let's say. But we do have testnet and devnet. We are giving this devnet access to serious builders like RWAs, all of the established startups. They're using the devnet and in touch with our development team.
Makes sense. How do you guys kind of approach this? Because obviously, developers is something that like in builders is that any like infrastructure project needs on top of them, right, to function. Are you guys working tightly together with a few companies? Do you have launching partners? How do you kind of like navigate building out that like initial ecosystem?
To everything in-house, we have development team located mostly in Europe. And we do have also some team members in the US. As you know, we are a US company that they are registered. And we started like it is 2026. You can call it like 4 years ago. Our last round raise was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and everything is. We are not hiring any outsource. Everything is in-house developed. When it comes to, of course, the marketing, the launches, partnership, and others, of course, we use outsource companies. But we haven't, we don't have a token. We haven't done any launch and any big marketing yet.
Okay. So basically, you're going to do a grassroots approach where you get the product out there, get it as useful for people as possible.
Yes, that's why we are calling it the mainnet zero. Let them test, let them be a great product, and then approach developers. We are not going to consumer. We are not. We are like a business to business. We are not business to consumer. That's why we don't have like a huge crowd, or we don't have pump and dump type of community. So
makes sense.
Going the L1, L2, and ecosystem projects and DeFi projects, and then the Jupiter or Paganavis as well at the same time to showcase out.
Yeah, that makes all sense to me. So we kind of have like a grassroots launch incoming with the initial product stack that includes the entire Rollup as a service platform as well. So I'll be able to like use the like Roam UIs to like start configuring my Rollup. I'll be able to like customize it, etc. Like what are my capabilities as a developer in this V0? Like what like set of features do I have access to immediately to get building?
Everything. We call it like you can set up everything by 2 to 3 days. You will have access to everything. At the same time, you can partner up with us, and then we will be helping to set up everything on running nodes, validators, and setting up the fees of the transaction fees, etc. And the maintenance, everything will be done by us as well. But after we sign an agreement and then we use our stack. At the same time, it's open source. You can go and then set up everything yourself and then have your own team. But at best, after evaluation of current projects, especially RWA projects, organization, resources, etc., gold, silver, etc., they are better off to approach us, and then we'll be providing tech, and then they will be doing the business side, management business side of themselves. This is our approach currently. We do have like 20 plus DevNet dev builders already. They are not like new startups. They've been around a long time ago. So they're trying to create organization. They're trying to create AWS, some gaming. Solar Studios are the second big website in Europe as well. They're also using our tech. And then what interests these other projects into Rome is you'll be able to add your token as a guest. So you don't have to maintain L2. You just create L2, add your token as a guest, and then get revenue by of these transactions as well.
Makes sense.
This goes to the question. There is no such tech on the SVM side yet. I mean, who provides you your own L2 and your own guest token, and then creates the cool utility for your community. There is some OP stack and others on EVM side, not SVM side yet. Soon also, Soon does not provide as well. Soon SVM, if you know the project. I haven't followed up still. A long time. They launched as well like, last year summer, I think.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so that makes it quite clear for me as a developer, like what I would be capable of doing and what I might tinker around in this initially. But to be honest, for this podcast, we're always like kind of more interested in like what is the most like delusional thing, like when we V3 of Rome, right? Like the crazy feature that you didn't have time to put into V0. Like how far can you push it? Like what's the dream for Rome here?
So I like these ideas. That's why I prefer. I mean, I always research and watch the Caldera, Initia. They created their own rollups, Initias, Minitias. Everybody can create their app chains, and it will be one unified liquidity. Why I'm talking about them because they already launched, even though there is not much activity. And but great UI, great technology. No use cases. I mean, they might come up with use cases, but this, meme coin, others are tied out already. What we see, our vision is like there's a lot of like good projects on Solana. May decide to just why we are not also utilizing Rome stack and deploying on Rome and then using entering this Ethereum ecosystem. And after that, let's just create our own L2 as well. And then on the back end, the customer even might not know that on the back end, settle all the transactions and then provide secure the transactions and better UI, faster finality, etc. This is still the fragmented vision, but we are going there. As you know, everything has been changing. Like I remember 2 years ago, there were new projects coming out, like new SVM, Ethereum on SVM. Let's bring this EVM projects into SVM. I know a couple of projects built SVM style of EVM, like Solana style of EVM using Solidity, but it didn't work out as well. But what we provide to current projects, it doesn't matter DeFi, gaming, gambling, organization, their own L2 using our Rome stack, and then at the same time settling all the transactions by patches on Solana and Ethereum, and use these two ecosystems. You don't have to develop from scratch for each of them and maintain it, run nodes and pay fees, etc. That's how we see it as the business part of the project. And again, there's so many things like using ZK, privacy that haven't done yet, but we are going there maybe soon. Will come. Let us just launch mainnet 0 and then integrate the union and others and provide be better up to mainnet 0, mainnet 1.
So when I hear about like Rome's whole pitch, right? My biggest fear initially would be that the kind of Solana ecosystem itself is anti L1, are originally anti-L1, right? So where Ethereum originally had Vitalik telling everyone, build L1s, go for it. We had Anatoly originally telling people, don't do L1s, deploy on Solana. How has for you guys the feedback so far been when talking with like mainly Solana developers? Are they interested? Or is it mainly people from the EVM stack who want to be closer to Solana? So still want to like do Solidity, but basically be closer to the activity of Solana itself and align with that. Where do you kind of see your like your best product market fit at the moment?
Yeah, you are deeply touching these topics, and probably we might see the next round of changes this year from EVM to SVM, particularly Solana. Most of the dev developers or auto users are coming out of Solana and Ethereum. But mostly probably Ethereum who wants to utilize Solana because Solana is consumer app, there's liquidity, even though price is down, but liquidity is still there. The users are still there. And if you heard about it, like Aster also having their own L1 now, BNB chain, the futures trading platform. And I think Hyperliquid put the standard there. Not every project can have their own L, so only the projects that have a user base, a loyal user base. And then those projects who are utilizing Web2, prediction markets, gambling, etc., they can they can develop the L1 and settle transactions on the backend. And user might not even know that they are using the blockchain, especially this organization, RWA, and then buying and selling the products, integrating the stable coins, the daily transactions for common users. I think we are mostly trying to tap the Web2 or not just Web3. These projects who want to deploy their dApps and L1s also from this year or from later last year, they're concentrating on mostly Web2 users now, onboarding Web2 users. You can't just build the Web3 gaming and then expect everybody who knows crypto just jump on it and buy your NFTs or tokens. You know what I mean? But it's a bit we don't. There is a vision, but how everything will change, we'll see.
Yeah. So do you think indeed, like, because I still feel like when I read integrations and like Arc and Citadel using certain infrastructure for institutional use cases, the EVM usually has more traction. I think from what I see out there with POCs being built, etc. So do you reckon that Rome offers basically institutional use cases quite nicely as well to new builders?
Yeah, you're right. Again, that's happening with two ecosystems. We are not only just on Ethereum, everything settles on Solana as well. So we don't differentiate, even though the Solana founder is our investor, doesn't mean that we are favoring Ethereum or Solana here. Institutional investors and projects are entering the blockchain just purely. They don't want to pay the fees to, for example, Visa, MasterCard, or transactions, PayPal and others. They want to utilize the blockchain purely as a transaction value. The web use NFTs or these tokens and create stable coins or create point system or tokenize the stock market, the gold options trading. We had recently, I had a call with the project who wants to create a prediction market for flight. And he said I did also, so there is no in Web2 yet, where the plane operators, these airlines, hedges the 6 to 1 year of operations using the prediction market. And he explained everything in the pitch deck and why he is interested to use the ROM stack. And this also new side of the use cases from Web2 to Web3. And currently, a lot of Web3 users are like gambling. They think at least the gambling, but there's tokenizations happening. There's RWS in Saudi Arabia, UAE happening in Africa. I know the couple projects that in Africa they tokenize the billboards, and also we were discussing about with this last month Ethereum Foundation Africa, and they tokenize the billboards, and then they of course raise funding. Whoever bought these tokenized billboards are receiving the passive income. That's also a great idea. And it's only on Ethereum, but they're planning to enter the Solana space as well using our tech. Again, the vision is blue. We are still young. The crypto is young. We don't expect much. We do have tools. Everybody is testing it with gambling, with manipulation. We are coming. At least we have now a clear path with how we can use it on stablecoins, organization, on the stock market, the fundraising as well by tokenizing the house or the road or billboards, such assets. I hope I was clear now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I know that you have to leave a little bit earlier today. Normally we do 45 minutes, but you're a busy man. I'm very curious. So we've got some hot takes from you, and I put some hard questions on you as well. Besides like Rome, L2s, and all of that, right now in crypto, like what excites you the most when you look at other projects and you see here's something really cool happening, or here's something new being built? What kind of like you personally do you think is some a different avenue that you just love to see happening on Twitter?
I kind of like prediction markets. I'm addicted to the prediction market. And I don't like meme coins. I hope it dies out soon. And I like when this ICO era is coming back by Legion, Echo purchased by Coinbase, MetaDAO is creating new fundraising styles, and I like this type of the growth, tokenization, and the gold and then the silver tokenized silvers will also going on, settling on Ethereum and Solana as well. I think there's a couple of projects doing that. One project I kind of liked it and then invest a little bit, the Mega. So I invested at the same time use the Polymarket and leverage will be up, like 1 billion, 2 billion, 4 billion, 6 billion yes buying yes. But I don't know now, to be honest, because after Berechain and Monad, I don't know. Just clarify, we are not L1, so this way I can talk about these L1s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got wrecked on. I think it was Monad on Polymarket. I was wrong when the TTE would happen. So regrettably for me,
I did a good thing on there. I did good thing on there. No more. I mean, I think I did 1 billion, 1.5 billion, 800 million. It will not raise. I mean, total commitment will not be more than 400 million. I think I did good there because I was thinking why the Coinbase is legal. I mean, they're US based and then they don't let manipulation. You can't just create on-chain record. Your friends will send as a commitment and then you return the money back later. It will not happen when it comes to Coinbase. That's why I was like mostly right when it comes to prediction there.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Well, thank you very much, Joao, for coming on and elucidating more about Rome Protocol. Where should our viewers have a look to read more and to basically follow up on the potential mainnet launch?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do you have some links or something they should navigate to subscribe to? What would you like our viewers to take away from this call?
Yeah, if you are a builder, just go to Rome Builders and reach out to us. Check the stack, check the GitHub, check the open source, the code speed, I think really a lot. And I check the tester and can I give access to them? And it's not. Just check how Rockstack works. If you have any more questions, I can get you in touch with developers, and they will take care of you. And most of the developers enter your startups, who wants to create your own L2, and or be at the same time with Ethereum and Solana. If you ask to unified liquidity, just get back to us anytime.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. For those listening, I think we're back next week again with another Builders Hall cast. Thank you so much, sir, and good luck with the mainnet launch.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.